From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
So we're rocking 2-0, baby. On to the next. Hey, big dubs. We 2, only 3. Easy. Time out swinging. Hey, no. It's the movie.
Welcome to this week's Colts 360 as I am joined by Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce, coming off a second consecutive victory to start the season. We just saw the Colts cam, the chaos that ensued on the field after that victory, the walk-off field goal to win it over the Denver Broncos. How do you describe the feeling that there is in this locker room right now and how it's different from anything that you've experienced thus far?
Yeah, starting the season, 2 wins, 2-0. It's not a place I've been in this league. And it sounds like our organization hasn't been there in quite a while. So it's definitely a good feeling. You go out there every weekend, you try to win the game. So we've been successful with that. I know they were very different games. Last week's game a lot crazier than the first week. But yeah, it's just, they obviously got the win, so we're feeling good.
And your first season, of course, working with Daniel Jones, you've had the opportunity to develop over the course of your career thus far with a lot of different quarterbacks that you've been within this building. What dimension has Daniel Jones helped develop within your game within this offense?
I think the biggest thing is just he just does a very good job communicating things and kind of letting me know exactly what he wants me to do on a certain route, like this look, I want this, that. So I think a lot of the mental work's been a little bit different, and just kind of just being completely prepared for all looks and stuff like that, just kind of through communication.
We have talked so much about the influence, of course, that Reggie Wayne, your wide receivers coach, has had on you to this point. And I spent some time last week before the game talking to assistant wide receivers coach Brian Bratton. Because you guys have a very thorough pregame routine that you work through. Can you describe that a little bit? Because Coach Bratton said that you, in particular, like to work specific releases, game specifically.
Yeah. No, I'm very routine. I do kind of the same thing every game. I get out there with B before the game, do a bunch of catches, work on certain top of the routes, break points. Try not to do too much. I don't want to get too tired, but definitely want to work on a few things that I've been working on during the week and just kind of last little preparations before the game.
That is one thing that Coach Bratton told me is he said, I almost have to pull back the reins a little bit on Alex sometimes in warm-up, right?
Yeah.
Because you know how much running you're going to have to do, especially on some of those long balls, so some of those big deep catches, right?
Yeah, for sure. So he's always keep me. Yeah, he's like, hey, let's not do too much right now. We gotta keep some in the tank for the game. Right?
Absolutely. And we talked about, of course, Daniel Jones and the asset that he is to this offense. No, it's not in your position group, but still, the addition of Tyler Warren. What has impressed you most about the impact that he's been able to have so quickly in his rookie season?
Yeah, no, I've been super impressed with him. I love in his game, just after the catch, him just making plays. He's super physical out there, but he's also he's got good feet. He makes people miss. He kind of gets in and out of his breaks well. So, he's just fun to watch and a fun guy to play football with. I feel like he's kind of willing to do whatever it is for the team. Really unselfish player. So we love having guys like that in the squad.
All right, we also got to talk about your family because obviously your brothers are still playing basketball. I know that your parents are all over the place. I was talking to them last Sunday after the game because they're coming to Nashville to watch you, and then I think they're going to go and watch your brothers. How difficult is it to keep tabs on the family group text when I think each of you are in a different time zone at this point?
Oh yeah. We're now my older brother lives in Seattle, my younger brother's out in Jersey, so we're kind of completely spread. We're from the Midwest, so we're kind of completely spread across the U.S. And then my brothers have been traveling a lot. They've been playing 3-on-3 basketball, which is very international. So actually, as we speak right now, my little brother's out in China. I don't think he'd ever been. This is probably the craziest place he's ever been. He's kind of new to it, so this is probably his second or third trip he's went. I think this summer he played in Chile and somewhere in Canada. So he's got to travel a little bit because of it. And then my older brother, he played 4 years overseas professionally, like 5-on-5 basketball, and then now he's been doing this 3-on-3 circuit. And he's been, I'm sure he's up to like, it was 50 plus countries. I'm sure it's now like 60 plus countries, maybe 70. He's been all over the place.
The passport's fully stamped. Okay,
yeah.
With your brothers both playing 3-on-3 basketball, pick 2 guys in this Colts locker room that you would choose to be on your 3-on-3 team.
I'd probably say, probably Drew Ogletree and Daniel Jones, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, sneaky hooper, huh?
He's a hooper. His brother played in college. So actually, his brother played at Duke, and I keep telling him, like, after the season, I'm like, it doesn't matter what brother, I'll take you down with one of my brothers. Go 2-on-2. So.
Oh, the Pierce-Jones battle.
Yeah.
Yes, we love it. We'll get a camera ready. Alec, thank you so much. Good luck this weekend in Nashville.
Thank you.
Still ahead, head coach Shane Steichen joins our own Matt Taylor to explain how the Colts are set to take advantage in the AFC South as they head to Nashville for the first divisional test of the season.
Enter now for your kid's chance to be Junior Blue at the next Colts home game. Visit Colts.com/Meyer Junior Blue to enter today.
Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com.
Talk about gritty, right? Gritty, tough, physical, consistent at the end when we needed it. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, offensively, 470 plus yards. DJ went for over 300 in the pass game. Hey, where you at? I'll tell you this, right? We're 2 games into this thing, right? We enjoyed tonight, but we're coming back to work. We got a division game next week. Say that game next week. All right, so keep working, keep preparing the right way, and we don't let up. We're on a mission this year, fellas. One day at a time, though. One day at a time, we get it done. Hell of a team win.
Time now to visit with Colts head coach Shane Steichen here on Colts 360. And the Colts are 2-0 for the first time since 2009. And coach, I've been around the NFL for a long time. So have you. I've never been a part of a walk-off, untimed, game-winning field goal. The Colts got it done against the Denver Broncos, winning 29-28. I imagine the scene and the atmosphere inside that winning locker room in week 2 was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty special in there, obviously, to win the game on an untimed down field goal. Spence making that kick from 45 out. It was awesome to celebrate with the team in that locker room. It's so hard to win in this league. And to get the back and forth through that whole game, through 4 quarters. I told those guys in the locker room at halftime, this thing's going to come down to the 4th quarter, which most of them do, but we got to find a way to win it and dig deep in the 4th quarter. And obviously, getting that ball back there and going down and scoring there to end the game was huge for our team. Yeah,
against the Broncos, you guys trailed by 8 points a couple of different times, but scratched and clawed, and you guys created your own luck. You guys were really well prepared, and that's what happens in this league. But through 2 games, it's a big enough of a sample size to create some conclusions and some common denominators. As you go back and you watch these first 2 game films, what are some common threads as to why the Colts are getting off to a good start, and they're 2-0, and you're playing some good complementary football.
Yeah, I think you just hit it. As the complementary football is the back and forth. Obviously, getting some takeaways on defense and then scoring with those opportunities on offense have been huge. And I think our offensive line's done a phenomenal job to start the season. And Daniel's throwing the ball really efficient. Our receivers are winning on the outside. Our defense is playing good. I think Lou's been doing a hell of a job. And special teams has been showing up. Schrader's been awesome. He's been perfect so far, making field goals, so we got to continue that trend. But I think there's a lot of camaraderie. The guys are playing for one another out there. It's special to see, kind of feel that, through training camp, and then obviously the first 2 weeks of the season, how they're playing for each other, the selflessness. It's been awesome.
I mean, Daniel Jones has been awesome too. Sensational. Over 300 yards passing against Denver. I mean, his completion percentage is over 70. We can nerd out on all the analytics and all the stats, but you're around him so closely every single day. Why do you think he is so focused, and why do you think he looks so comfortable in this system that you have around him on offense?
I think he is. He's laser focused, and I think that's part of his DNA, and he loves the game. He loves studying the game. His preparation that he puts into it on a weekly basis has been phenomenal. Even, after a game that, you win, he puts it to bed, and that Monday he's starting on the next opponent. Tuesday he's in here grinding, watching tape, bringing the skill guys in, watching tape. Same thing Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, he's texting me at night, different ideas and plays throughout the week. Hey, if we get this look, what about this? Or if we get this, hey, boom, I might check to this, boom, boom, boom. There's a lot of conversation that goes on, and you need that at that position. And he loves the ball. He loves the preparation, and obviously, he's going out and executing at a high level.
Are you like, don't call me, man? I'm at home. I'm with my family,
I love
right?
it. I'm all for it. We're firing back and forth, texting, like, hey, yeah, let's do this, and we'll get to this. Yeah, we'll install that, and he's all over it.
Well, you look at the rest of this offense, again, not to nerd out on all the stats, but I mean, NFL record for the Colts. They become the first team in the history of the league to score points on the first 11 possessions of a season. You're almost at 900 yards for the year, 62 points. You haven't had to punt yet. You haven't turned the ball over yet. I mean, what is clicking right now? Why is it all sort of this offensive utopia through 2 games here?
I don't know. It sounds fun, though. Let's just keep doing it. But I think the guys everyone's flying around. Everyone's locked in, engaged. The executing at a high level, converting third downs, when we need them, creating the chunk plays. The run game's been rolling good too. And I think it's everybody. It's the players. It starts with the players. It's always about the players and then putting in the work. And also, the coaches, helping them, putting them in position to go make those plays.
Right. And you and I talked about this earlier in the week as well. Going into this third game against Tennessee, it's a big one. It's an AFC South game. But again, sample size-wise, through 2 games for the Colts, it just seems like this is a different team. They have the it factor. You don't really know what that means or what it is, but you just sort of know it when you see it. What is it about this team? They seem to be really close, and there's a lot of camaraderie within this group.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say, when we're connected, we're committed, and I think the guys have been connected in the stuff that people don't see, that's not on the field but outside the building, the work. They're out going to dinner, hanging out together, talking life, and I think that stuff's huge. Obviously in the fourth quarter and games are on the line and stuff, that everyone knows they got each other's back.
Right.
And you can see how much fun they're having right now. We got to continue to execute at a high level and continue to stay disciplined and put in the work every week.
Well, you're taking the show on the road for the first time. Nashville, Music City calls, AFC South game against the Tennessee Titans. They're 0-2, rookie quarterback in Cam Ward. You've certainly been there. What are your early week impressions here of the Titans going into this game here?
Well, respect the Titans. Obviously, anytime you play a division game, obviously they're going to be battles. And going on the road down in their place, I know they'll be geared up to ready to roll, and so are we. Obviously, you want to win championships, they start in the division. And you got to put in the work one day at a time to go down there to be ready to roll. I know they fly around on defense. Offensively, they're doing some good things as well, too. So we got to be on all over the details, come Sunday.
Yeah, this guy right here, head coach Shane Steichen, he's 2-0. The Colts are looking for a 3-0 start with a win against the Titans this weekend. Coach, appreciate the time. All the best in the AFC South.
All right, thank you.
Sanchez to put it down. There's the snap. Kick is on its way. Headed for the uprights, and it is good. A walk-off field goal. Spencer Schrader wins it for the Colts. Colts win.
And Colts 360 continues. Matt Taylor is back as the voice of the Colts lays out what is on the line as the Colts take on the Titans on Sunday afternoon. That's next on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy is our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Satisfy your halftime hunger with Snickers and enter for a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 60 at Snickers.com/halftime. It's time for the Fordham Credit Union question of the week. Which Indianapolis Colt has the most punt return yards? Clarence Verdun with 1,537. Visit the Fordham Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Fordham Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams. Much more manageable here for Spencer Schrader. This is a 45-yard try to win the game. No time left on the clock. Colts down by 2, 28-26. 45-yard field goal here. Sanchez to put it down. There's the snap. Kick is on its way. Headed for the uprights. And it is good! A walk-off field goal. Spencer Schrader wins it for the Colts. Colts win 29-28. Ball game. INDY. You want drama? Just come to Lucas Oil Stadium, boy. Holy my! Colts win it in walk-off fashion. Spencer Schrader, the hero. A 45-yard field goal. No time left on the clock, and the Colts are 2-0. Oh, how sweet it is. Holy Blake, where's the Tylenol?
The man who does it all. He co-hosts the show with me, does the interview with Coach Steichen, has an epic radio call of the walk-off field goal to put the Colts at 2-0. Voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, is here for a little segment we're going to call What Would It Mean? Because the Indianapolis Colts have their first road test of the season, their first divisional game of 2025 this weekend in Nashville. Mayte, what would it mean for the Colts to continue executing with the level of precision they have to start the season?
Well, I'm glad we start there because that's what is most impressive to me so far through the first two games of the season is the execution in all three phases of the game, but specifically offense is just off the charts. I mean, you think about some of the things that we've seen so far. I mean, the Colts offense became the first team in the history of the NFL to score points on their first 10 possessions of a season.
Unbelievable.
They haven't punted yet. No turnovers. Daniel Jones is second in the NFL in passing yards. His passer rating is over 100. All of these things that you can point to. The level of execution that we're seeing right now is usually reserved for the middle of the season, right? Once you kind of find your rhythm and your groove and kind of find your identity. And
especially with a new quarterback.
Exactly.
And two new members of the offensive line.
Yeah, great point right there.
Rookie tight end.
You know, to see all of these things come to fruition and come together this early really gives you a lot of hope and optimism going forward. And bigger picture than that, like pie in the sky, Lara, it's really nice to see, right? There's been a lot of frustration over the last couple of years, a different plan at quarterback. The Colts have missed the playoffs 4 years in a row. It's nice to see really good football out of the gate, but some of the critics and some of the people that were slow to get on board and some of the pessimistic people out there are starting to see this Colts offense and Daniel Jones play really good football. And if they play like this, certainly they have a chance to win every football game.
And now, what would it mean? Point number 2. We mentioned you go on the road, you're headed to Nashville. Tended to be kind of a favorable place the last few years to the Colts in a number of respects. But what would it mean to get that first division win before the end of September?
It would be huge. You know, the Tennessee Titans are a team that always gives the Colts struggles. I mean, the Colts, yes, they've won 4 in a row against Tennessee, but if you look back, the last 8 matchups between the Colts and Titans have all been decided by single digits. So
as were so many of the Colts games just last year alone.
No question about it. Yeah, the Colts played 13 one-score games last year, but yeah, 2 of those games in this series with the Titans have been overtime games. So, you look at their dynamic. They're 0-2 coming into this game. They lost 33-19 last week in week 2 to the Rams. They got a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward, struggling a little bit on offense. In fact, they've only scored 1 offensive touchdown for the season, relying a lot on their kicker, Joey Sly. He's got 8 field goals made. He's got a big leg. But the offensive line is leaky, a little porous. They've allowed 11 sacks and a lot of pressure on that rookie quarterback. Tough indoctrination for him in week 1, going on the road and playing Denver, and then kind of a rocky second week against LA. But this game to me, Larry, just speaks trap game, right? Because you're going on the road. Tennessee's obviously off to a shaky start, and the Colts are trying to get to that 3-0 mark. And winning road games in the division lately has been tough for the Colts. In the last 3 years, they're just 3-5-1 on the road against the AFC South. So this would be just huge for the Colts in terms of momentum and trying to deal with success and win a football game that they're favored to win. That's something that is a different dynamic, obviously, for this group specifically.
And as we wrap this one up, we know that the Colts are 2-0 for the first time since 2009. Big picture, what would it mean for the Colts to advance and prove to 3-0 to start the season?
Yeah, I just want to see them continue to back it up. Like I said, dealing with success sometimes, Larry, you and I are both in the locker room, and we've talked to a lot of guys over the years, and these guys get up in front of their locker, and they always say the right things. It's cliche. Yeah, we don't want to read our press clippings, and we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but and sometimes that's just cliche. It's
Sure.
human nature, right? Sometimes you're walking down the street, or you're in the grocery, or
It's impossible not to feel the excitement.
100%. And there's a lot of excitement. There's just a lot of optimism now surrounding this team with how well they're executing in the first couple of weeks. You go back to training camp, it was such a tough physical camp. They worked so hard to drill like 400 more plays in the offseason in camp to be ready for the start of the regular season. It's certainly paying off, but yeah, to be 3-0 and to get your first win inside the division in the month of September, that would just mean big things for this team in terms of confidence and from a psychological standpoint.
It'll be big to have you back on the radio call. I will be on the sidelines looking forward to our Sunday afternoon coverage down there at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Thanks for spending part of your weekend with us here on Colts 360. Special thank you to Matt Taylor, head coach Shane Steichen, and Alec Pierce for being with us on this week's edition of Colts 360.